Okay, before this stanza, you end off with saying, living disaster and soil erosion through nuclear waste and artificial cyclones that swamp and destroy nature. So we could all throw the blame to God and His nature.
The most important thing we have in society, what I personally call the architects of destruction.
Yeah.
People who design wars, people who design nuclear waste. They make terms, they go and negotiate in countries. There was one time where I saw a treaty written in America saying the John Rockefeller is signed with Thailand to take the waste from America to Thailand. What happens to the people in Thailand?
Yeah.
Because maybe the countries have shared wealth in terms of business transaction. But now, what happens? If you live in a place of trash, obviously there are illnesses. So we end up creating a slow soil erosion for ourselves. Like tsunami itself. Most people believe tsunami was a natural disaster. It was not a natural disaster, but on research, we know that the Japanese tried to blast oil from the Indian Ocean, then so came a cyclone. Not once, twice. Haiti became the same incident.
Oh, these are the artificial cyclones.
It's artificial.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have normal cyclones.
Yeah.
Cyclones are basic in the ocean. But for them to reach the highest height, it means some people are tampering with nature.
There was a catalyst
To prove he wants to take that oil, that crude from the ocean, then make money.
And then I think this is when now we turn, like the poem is like, when the poem just gets to the climax and it turns on the table, where you go, we shall never succumb to the beast and his ill-calculated new world order, practicing cults and advanced crimes of human sacrifice.
This is the most important part. We've seen true leaders die for no reason. We've seen crooks live and lead. We've been led by crooks. That's the problem in society, and we can just shy our eyes away from that, but it's the truth. We no longer have true leaders. True leaders, most of them, they have been assassinated. You can count from whatever count where you start in history. People who try to fight for the people don't really exist. They don't really survive. But the protest never ends. That is the thing. It means we're not submitting to the conditions of society. We're not submitting to the politics and governance that is happening around the world. We are trying to arm each other vocally and preach this thing to other people and teach our children whatever information they need to learn, so that they can become reinforced in the sense of knowing reality in its real artifact, rather than the shame that they sell on the media, the shame that they sell on politics, telling us that yes, this is the manifesto, we're going to send you this thing, if you vote for me, I'm going to do this for you. And that never happens. And people, they drive their Mercedes-Benz, and then the president no longer knows you by name, but at the time of the vote, the president sleeps on the slums, he tries to be closer to the people who call him by name.
That's true. That's true. Cool. And then we continue to my favorite part. Anytime a poet says we poets in a poem, or says this is a poem, I feel such a joy in my heart, because I'm like, oh yeah, this is me. So yeah, you continue, you go, we poets remain competitors to scientists and physics, running innovative experiments of therapy, hypnotizing the system to change perception and fighting the inception.
We have a rule and we have a job as poets. We know art is an open field to entertain, to liberate, to motivate, to inspire. It's an open field. But we have a rule, an important rule as poets, all of us. No matter if you're an entertainer, but we have to try and inspire other people and liberate other people. Our duty is to liberate the world, to change the type of delusion that is happening around you, for people to start to see the reality, because people are running away from the reality. People are hiding with the lifestyle to say, I'm working, I'm earning this much, I'm drinking, it's fine, you can drink and enjoy. But what about the reality? Does it run away when you do that? It doesn't. So we have a rule, and we have a very important role to play. We must, by all means, try to hypnotize the ills in society, the rapes, the abuse, the crimes, all of those type of ills, all of those social ills, the religious ills, people crooking other people, trying to make money out of religion. We must hypnotize people to see, consciously feel guilt for the wrongs and start to see reality in its true perspective. I'm sure Every poet has that role.
Yes.
No matter if you can entertain, it's fine. It's a business. You can inform. You can try to inspire. But the most important thing, you must liberate.
We shall never be deceived by Greeks' astrological beliefs in stars and Egyptian insignia of pyramid innovation as pagan pharaoh tombs. Before we continue. For we have seen more hunger in Rwanda and massacres in Beirut, Marikana and Palestine, yet history and the Guinness books may not keep these records. Whoa!
The most important thing about this stanza is the history.
Yeah.
We are running short of history. And the true translation of history has been diversified and changed and altered in that sense to benefit certain people. We know in history books, they say Pythagoras is a Greek mathematician who learned the theorem of Pythagoras in Egypt. But no one tells you where in Egypt and who taught Pythagoras. And you've seen pyramids being built, and people don't understand. Pyramids, they are not monuments, they are tombs for pharaohs. Every pharaoh, every emperor in Egypt, when the emperor died, they created a tomb, a pyramid, adjacent to the star, to honor that pharaoh. So people have been misled by that shit. They believe pyramids are an innovation. I'm coming from America, I went to Egypt, I went to see the pyramids. They don't even understand those are tombs. And the history behind the pyramids, it's very sad history. There were people who had to be assassinated to guard the pharaohs within. And that is culture, according to the Egyptians. We cannot disrespect that culture. But that culture must not contaminate history. We've initiated a lot of things in Africa, and no one must speak about those things. Beyond Egypt, beyond Kush, if you can start and track the history of Africans from where it started in Africa, we've been migrating around the continent. There was a time in 13th century where we had Ghana for some reasons, but no one speaks about that history. There was a time in ancient history we created the first library in Senegal, in Dakar. It was migrated out of the collisions into Morocco in Fez. But no one speaks of that history. You only see Mission Impossible acted in Egypt, in Marrakesh. You see the Mummy acted in that library. Do you understand? Yeah. But no one speaks of that history, and no one cares.
Wow. So I guess this is why now, then in this next line you can go, we intend to expose all sorts of ills from the world and heal broken souls purely with words, so all humans may be saved from the dark forces leading to devastation itself.
Yes, we've seen more people dying out of hunger. Yeah. More people dying in Ethiopia, for instance. More people dying in other continents. We've seen more people dying for some personal ego because of certain leaders. They have an ego and they decide to have bad communication and it result to conflict resulting to a war. People dying in Beirut, massacres in Marikana for which it's something that people could have sat down and negotiated easily. No life died, and there was proper negotiations made. But people died because certain people wanted to sacrifice others for money, and those are the issues we want to see. Our duty is to teach and inform them and expose of these things. That's our role.
And I think this is my favorite stanza, if not line. We are a compass to the lost, a host to all broken dreams. You carry a mandate to mend and fill empty spaces in your souls. Even pain and personal gain, no place.
We must teach each other not to be greedy. We have a whole lot of things to share in the world. We can share information, share given knowledge, share wealth, share life, share space. I've seen there are battles in the art field. Poets fighting for a space, musicians fighting for a space, production companies fighting for a space, promotion companies fighting for a space, even the broadcast teams fighting for a space. Why can't people share the space and give each other cautions to say, no, I'm operating in this line, I'm at this demarcation, I can give you space. And people getting to acknowledge each other as poets. And because people publicly so, they are paying attention to what we are doing. It's not as if they are not seeing. They may never understand what we do, but they are paying attention. If people see you doing this thing and some people outside your own place or your own country start appreciating, they start to see the power in this thing. So why can't we open this thing for everyone?
I think open the space, open up spaces, guys.
And beyond that, people are dying in high hopes.
They're dying in high hopes.
Yeah, they're dying in high hopes. People go to school to study, they don't make it in careers because of the economy. It's bad. And people are dying, and people, they are trying to leave the country, which is an idea, which is good. However, who is responsible for our own place if we live? If we're all living in our places, who's responsible for?
Wow. And then we close off saying, we poets write words from the dictionary. This is our mantra. We write big words in a little piece of stationery so we could confuse the audience.
Going into poetry,
we
have a mistake, and it's a big mistake. Most poets, they don't want to translate issues directly. They feel they're in their own space. It's creativity, it's good. However, we are speaking our own language. It may take some years for people to understand. So I'm sure people, they sit and read and write. It's our duty to read and write. So we must read and write and be able to share. I feel it's better if we can try and speak openly, speak words that are more easier to understand. Because poets
know words. We know words. Bro, that was X Marks the Sport. Do you feel there's anything else you want to allude to, especially the title? Why did you entitle it X Marks the Sport?
It's important that the revolution is not televised. These are the type of questions that we have. It's like trying to solve X and not knowing X. X is just a basic symbol, but it is a representation of an issue in society. This is an issue in society that we must speak about. So saying revolution X marks the sport. Wherever there is X, there is an emblem. It can either be success or poverty or whatever. So we must be able to detect and decipher those codes. What is really X in our situations? In our situation, what am I solving as a person?
This is a beautifully written piece, and I'm glad we finally got your mindset behind writing the piece. As you know, when poets write something, we have this eagerness and this zeal to want to write something. So upon writing this and after writing this, do you feel like whatever was in your head and whatever was edging to get out, do you feel like it's clearly written here, still represented in this picture, or do you have other pieces that will want to latch on to this poem later? The message is clear on this one.
It's important for me as a poet to always cough out whatever I feel at the moment, and not know. I know some poets, they want to know and plan how they want to write. My standards and my strategy is not to know what to write. This poem, if it's complete, it's gonna say it is only. If it's still gonna become a sequel, or there are other poems that are gonna be born through this poem, still gonna come. Depends what inspires what. If this message is not enough, obviously there will be more messages coming out. But if this is an important message that was sufficient for the public, I'm sure it's enough.
Whoever's gonna get it.
It's enough for people to understand.
Bro, super. Thank you so much, bro. For the viewers who might want to read more of Superstar's work, where do they get you on the social media? Who are you?
People want to read. Fortunately, I've broke the publisher's blog. They publish in some institutions. So people can just type Sibusiso Ernest Masilela Poetry. It's gonna appear in most of these institutions. And even on Facebook it's the same thing, Sibusiso Ernest Masilela. Because I don't write superstar. If you say superstar, there are a lot of superstars in the world. So you need to have an identity that is on the core.
Thank you so much, bro. This was so fun. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Yo guys, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Kwane's Poetic License. We'll be back next week. So this year we're trying so very hard to make sure that we give you an episode a week. So thank you for tuning in. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Don't forget to ask any questions and suggest any of your poets that you might want to see on the show. Remember, love word. Love people.
Word.
Peace.
Word.